Welcome, one and all, to the Lunchtime Alumni Recognition Ceremony. We're going to get started now. For those of you who don't know me, I am Steve George, the Assistant Dean for Advancement at the UIC College of Nursing. I know many of you attended the morning sessions, so I hope you had ample time during the break and were able to stretch, do some yoga, and prepare your lunch. If this is your first session of the day, I wanted to start with a few brief housekeeping reminders before we begin. First, we will have the entire audience automatically muted during the lunch program today. Please feel free to turn on and turn off your video as you wish, and feel free to continue eating, drinking, and having lunch all while enjoying the program. Please feel free to use the reaction buttons, so like the thumbs up or the clapping reaction anytime during the ceremony to show your support and hopefully your reaction and your cheers during the program. Please also, we encourage you to use the chat function. So let us know where you're zooming in from, whether you are in Chicagoland, across the state, across the nation, across the world. I know we have many of you from all over in many different locations. So we welcome you to share that in the chat. Let us know when you graduated, what class you're from, where you work, and feel free to chat among yourselves with fellow classmates, with fellow alumni, all during the program. It won't distract us. Okay, I'll be back later in the program, but for now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Terry Weaver, our consummate dean of the UIC College of Nursing. Terry, take it away.
From my home to your home. Although we can't be together, I hope that today we can still connect. I want to welcome you again to our reunion. My name is Dr. Terry Weaver, and I am Dean at the UIC College of Nursing. I wanted to also thank our panel of nurse leaders from this morning, Brenda Burke, Lynn Lenker, and Sarah Overton. I appreciate the time that they devoted to the presentation, but particularly their insights, especially in this unprecedented public health crisis. Those perspectives were just invaluable. I also want to thank Dr. Sue Dunn for her presentation, sharing her discoveries about hopelessness in severely ill patients. Through a recent NIH grant award, Dr. Dunn has extended her Heart Up research to counter the negative impact on COVID-19 shelter-in-place and physical distancing and how that is affect health outcomes. Perhaps you're having lunch with us now, and if so, I hope you continue to enjoy our program as we proceed to celebrate you, our alumni. The panel this morning was thrilled to see such a turnout for this year's reunion. Perhaps it was the virtual format and convenience of attending from wherever you might be. I know that we have alumni from throughout Illinois, but we also have alumni from all over the nation and halfway around the world. It's a great chance to indulge in memories of your days as a student, and had a little extra appeal during this very difficult year. Whatever brought you with us today, we are so pleased to have you here. When your day with us ends, I hope you'll feel both excited about your connection to our college and eager to engage further, because we'd love to hear about what you're doing and have you be very active in our alumni organization. As former students yourselves, you know that students are the heart of our mission as a college. We were and continue to be very resilient this year, from spring's rapid switch to all online classes to launching a fall semester in a hybrid format. Our students and faculty have weathered the storm and will continue to be prepared. Our college continues to grow in stature, and I am just so proud of the productivity of our faculty, even during this challenging times. Our ranking has increased. Our DNP program is now ranked second among public universities and sixth overall in the country by U.S. News and World Report. NIH funding has ranked us as number 6 among public U.S. nursing schools. In a nutshell, we're the number 1 program in the state for both education and research, and I am so proud of our faculty and students. This spring, virtually, we graduated 296 students in May. Our enrollment is more than almost 1,600 students in 6 campuses, an increase of about 4% over last fall. And our students continue to make us proud. For example, our PhD student, Nanyombe Lobimbe, has been selected as a 2020-2021 Fulbright U.S. Student Awardee to go to Rwanda. She'll study the Human Resources for Health program, a cooperation among health colleges from around the world, including UIC Nursing, that is dedicated to improving the delivery of health care and development of the healthcare workforce in Rwanda. Nanyombe's goal is to understand and document ways to sustain gains made during the 8 years of the program in which we've been involved. 3 of the 8 UIC students selected from UIC for the 2020 Schweitzer Fellowships are our DNP students. Schweitzer Fellows work to address unmet health needs among vulnerable Chicagoland residents. Each one designs a community-based project and provides 200 hours of service. 2 of our Schweitzer Fellows will conduct health literacy classes with underserved youth. The 3rd will work with older adults to combat feelings of isolation and engage in end-of-health planning. We also had a host of students responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. Graduate students already licensed as RNs worked on hotlines that were set up to triage patients or screen UI Health Essential employees with symptoms. Undergraduates worked as patient care techs or nursing assistants, and this gave them their first taste of a real public health crisis. I told them, pay attention, you're seeing epidemiology in action. Some are unfortunately seeing their first patients die, and many are reported to us that their experience only made them redouble their commitment to become the best nurses that they can be. Our faculty have had incredible achievements. You may have heard by now that nursing collegiate professor Dr. Shannon Zenk has been selected to serve as the next director of the National Institute of Nursing Research. We are so excited and so happy for her. Shannon is an alumna who has been on faculty for the last 14 years, and she will manage as director of the National Institute of Nursing Research a budget of $170 million in service of nursing research. We are so confident in her leadership and that it will ensure the stature of nursing research well into the future. I know that one of the first tasks that they will undertake at NINR is the development of a new strategic plan, and she will be instrumental in leading that effort. Dr. Pamela Martin-Nemeth has received $3 million in NIH funding to study a sleep intervention that could help people with type 1 diabetes improve glycemic control. And Dr. Susan Corbridge and Dr. Virginia Reisling, both alumni of our college, have procured a $1.5 million grant to expand care at our college-run clinic, where the model is to integrate physical and mental health care in one setting. The clinic in Humboldt Park serves very vulnerable populations, including low-income community as well as current and former inmates. through contracts with both Cook County and the Illinois Department of Corrections. And again, our faculty has been on the forefront of the response to the pandemic, working and volunteering to screen and treat patients. For example, clinical assistant professor and alumna Dr. Rebecca Singer has been co-leading an ambitious effort to test individuals experiencing homelessness in temporary housing run by the city of Chicago. Dr. Megan Tress, clinical instructor and two-time alumna, launched a nonprofit to supply phone charging cords to every hospital intensive care unit in the United States. She saw that, in fact, patients would be admitted with their phones, but no way to charge them. And so to be able to maintain communication with families, she had this idea. First collecting chargers and then partnering with a company to make the chargers. And for that, she was selected by Crane's Business as one of the heroes of the COVID epidemic. Dr. Kylie Lease is leading a large-scale study of how coronavirus has affected the experience of pregnancy. And Dr. Wendy Bostwick has published a review of data documenting racial inequities in the experience of COVID-19. And of course, it is so gratifying to be part of a health system that is the only entity in Chicago leading a phase 3 trial of Moderna's COVID vaccine. They also now are starting to evaluate the efficacy of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and will soon be leading testing of the third vaccine. So it's wonderful that UIC has been selected to take this leadership role. As you all know, in addition to the public health crisis, our nation has also been experiencing a season of reckoning in terms of social justice and racism. In this climate, I felt proud and fortunate that our college had already, in the fall of 2019, developed a leadership team position for the Associate Dean of Equity and Inclusion. Dr. Phoenix Matthews was appointed to the post in January. After the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis and the protests that followed, Dr. Matthews led a series of virtual discussions for students, faculty, and staff to begin to process the death and to understand the urgency of Black Lives Matter movement. In those weeks, the faculty and leadership team developed the college's official statement of equity and inclusion, which is now front and center on our website so that all know where we stand with regard to this important issue. Most recently, Alicia Hart, who completed her PhD with us in May, and is now a postdoc being mentored by Dr. Phoenix Matthews, co-funded Black Nurses Matter, which organized a march in Washington in August to advocate for equity in the treatment of Black nurses and Black patients. Tremendous leadership. Besides the pandemic and the social unrest, this year brought us another reminder of how little is under our control when we learned of the death of former Dean Mitzi Duxbury. She was a leading voice in helping the public, the healthcare team, and nurses themselves see the profession as truly science-driven. Dean Duxbury was also a generous donor who established 2 scholarship funds at our college in support of perinatal, neonatal, and midwifery students. Also on the topic of former deans, some of you may know that I'm about to become one of them. I plan to retire next August 2021. It is bittersweet for me. It's been a wonderful experience. It's been fabulous to be part of the UIC community and to have such wonderful students, alumni, faculty, friends. I will miss it all, but it's time for me to move on. As you know, our college and university continues to be engaged in Ignite, the campaign for UIC. Our College of Nursing's goal of 33 million folds into the UIC-wide campaign goal of 750 million. With just over 2 years to go, we are closing in on 80% of that goal and are in the home stretch of the campaign. And I selfishly might add that I wouldn't mind if we reached our goal while I was still the dean. While all gifts have made a strong positive impact during the campaign, I wanted to share a few recent major gift highlights. As you know, at last year's reunion, we cut the ribbon on the beautiful new M. Christine Schwartz Experiential Learning and Simulation Laboratory, largely funded by a $5 million gift from Chris Schwartz, who is with us today. We didn't realize then how essential the Schwartz Lab would become as we moved into a virtual world because of COVID, but we are so fortunate and thankful to Christine as well as Nita Francis and the host of other alumni and donors who made that high-tech lab a reality that allows for both virtual connections and space to learn in a safely distanced setting. So everyone is spread out, their learning continues, and we're able to use the lab in new ways than we had thought previously. Last fiscal year, we also received an anonymous $1.5 million gift in support of our Springfield campus to increase funding for faculty and students, including launching a student success program. We received a number of gifts in support of outstanding faculty. For example, alumna Judy Hicks, who is with us today, helps kickstart the Dean's Innovation Fund, which will enable us to support innovative faculty projects. This year, we're putting it into action, helping Associate Dean for Practice and Community Partnerships, Charlie Yingling, and his team work on telehealth initiatives, which has become increasingly important and actually something that patients really prefer. Just a few weeks ago, we secured a gift from an alumna on the East Coast who has kindly included the College of Nursing in her estate. Her gift will endow a faculty scholar positions focused on the area of psychiatric and community mental health nursing, substance abuse, eating disorders, and/or addiction, all critically important. And while not a newly endowed position, I am thrilled to announce that we have named Dr. Lori Quinn to the Minich Professorship, an endowed position in our college, which makes Dr. Quinn director of our Center for Sleep and Health Research. We have also received a number of gifts which also impact our students via scholarships, and I'll just name a few. The Gertrude Skelly Foundation renewed funding for their emergency scholarship fund to help students cope with unforeseen circumstances. Heaven knows 2020 has been full of unexpected challenges, and our students have really needed this help. Two alumni here with us today have recently created new awards for students. Sherry Mendelson created a graduate student scholarship fund to support outstanding research. Grace Ann Folks has established a second endowed scholarship in the names of her sons to support undergraduate students and with financial need. Lastly, I am grateful for the multitude of gifts to our College of Nursing's annual fund and scholarship fund, which provides unrestricted dollars to invest in faculty, student scholarships, and operations, not only here in Chicago, but for all of our campuses across the state. All told, we are lucky to have the support of alumni, donors, and friends like you via gifts of all shapes and sizes that are all important, that are all help, and are propelling us forward in our Ignite campaign, providing fuel to drive forward in our mission and to educate, to discover, and to provide incredible care. And as the Ignite campaign continues on, I encourage all of you today to continue giving, or perhaps make your first gift ever in support of our students and faculty. Steve George will have more to say about this a bit later, but I wanted to plant these seeds of giving with you today as well, since they're so important to me. We recognize it's because of you, our alumni, that we are so strong today and will be in the future. As you make your mark across the state, the country, and indeed the world, you project the reputation of UIC Nursing as a place of rigorous scientific thought and highly skilled, compassionate clinical care with excellence in education. For that, we, and I in particular, thank you. We begin our awards presentation with the Outstanding Alumni Achievement Awards, which recognizes alumni who have built extraordinary careers of meaningful and measurable accomplishments. We're happy to recognize today 3 winners of this significant award. Phyllis Pelt earned her bachelor's and master's degrees in nursing at UIC. She went on from her master's degree to be the founding director of our college's online school nurse certificate program. In a career that spans 53 years, Phyllis has been a school nurse leader, preceptor, health advisory board member, speaker, consultant, and mentor. Phyllis was nominated for this award by faculty, staff, and alumni, including Julia Caldwell, Janice Phillips, Sharice Jackson, Robin Shannon, and Martha Dewey Bergren. In Martha's letter, she wrote, quote, "Phyllis has left a legacy of programs and nurse leaders in her wake. I am blessed to be one of them," end of quote. I introduce to you Phyllis Pelt.
Hello, hello. My name is Phyllis Pelt, and I'm here today because of God's grace and mercy and the endless prayers of my parents, family, and friends, especially my husband Thomas and my daughters. I earned my Bachelor of Science degree at the College of Nursing in 1967 and my Master of Science in 1995. I am humbled and honored to be one of this year's College of Nursing Outstanding Alumni Achievement Award recipients. I would like to thank Dean Terry Weaver and the entire Alumni Board for selecting me for this award. I would also like to thank my colleagues who nominated me for the award, Dr. Martha Bergren, Dr. Julia Cowell, Sharice Jackson, Dr. Janice Phillips. I would also like to thank, in this list of people, but time does not permit me to thank them all, but I did thank them along the way. I became a nurse, a registered nurse, because of my mom, who was a registered nurse from a 3-year program. She worked at Cook County in the surgical dispensary emergency room for many, many years. And her stories of how she helped and other nurses helped made me want to be a nurse. My mom said, if you're going to be a nurse, you're going to need to start with a minimum of a Bachelor of Science degree in order to make a difference. And that is why I chose the University of Illinois College of Nursing. And what a great decision that was, because of the researchers, the outstanding nurse leaders that were faculty members, that were my teachers. The College of Nursing had endless opportunities to practice patience, persistence, kindness, and even humor. So I'm glad that was my choice. I'm glad that I had an opportunity to interact with the urban health program. In 1998, I was the liaison from my department with that program, and I've continued over the years to work with the program that identified gifted and talented minorities, not only to recruit them, but to help retain them, help them complete not only their bachelor's degree, their master's, but their doctors in nursing practices and even their PhDs. And so the ripple effect, the fact that I've been able to be a preceptor and a mentor over the years has really, really been one of my greatest joys. Becoming a school nurse was a huge and amazing decision because school nursing is one of the specialties where there is so much diversity within the specialty that I was able to be a health detective and make good trouble, as late Congressman John Lewis would have said. For example, when students came down from the same classroom, 3 or 4 of them with a severe asthma attack, not only did I help them with their asthma, but I went up to the classroom to see what the trigger was. The substitute teacher was there because the teacher was hospitalized. And when I went in the classroom, I immediately noted black mold growing from the ceiling all the way down the wall. We were able to relocate the classroom, the students, notify the principal, the school board got involved, and they eventually did over $1 million worth of repairs in order for that class to be fit for students again. One example of putting all the pieces together, problem solving, things that the College of Nursing taught us over my whole career. I'm thankful that I had an opportunity to be a pioneer in learning online and establishing what is now a prestigious program, and 2 of my online certificate students are now the leaders in that program, Dr. Kathy Yonkaitis and Dr. Robin Shannon. These were 2 of my students, and so I'm amazed that things that are meaningful don't just stop when the person transitions or when they retire, but they continue. In closing, I would like to say that there are so many opportunities, especially in light of the global pandemic of COVID, that we have to improve and to identify opportunities to make things better, to be observant, to start good trouble, to follow through on things. Get to know your school nurse, encourage the school nurse, be a part of the solution and not the problem. Use pre-existing resources. For example, the Healthy Schools campaign would be one of them, an amazing resource that we identified and worked with over the years. So I'm thankful for this honor, and I pray that God will continue to bless you.
Thank you, Phyllis, for your dedication to our college as an academic leader and to advocating for the thousands of nurses serving our children in our nation's schools. Congratulations on your well-earned award. Our next recipient is Angelique Richard, who earned her PhD here at UIC and is now Senior Vice President of Hospital Operations and Chief Nursing Executive of Rush System for Health. Among her many accomplishments, Angelique participated as the only nurse representative on then Vice President Joe Biden's Cancer Moonshot Panel discussion at the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center in 2016. In her nomination letter, fellow alumni Janice Phillips wrote, quote, "Angelique is relentless when it comes to ensuring high-quality patient care," end of quote. Friends, I'd like to introduce Angelique Richard, who's going to share some thoughts.
I humbly thank you for honoring me with an Outstanding Alumni Achievement Award. And a very special thank you to Dr. Janice Phillips, class of '93, one of the most admired nurse scientists and a dear colleague and friend, for the very kind nomination. I'm a proud alumna of UIC College of Nursing, class of 1999. I remember exploring programs in the 1990s for the best PhD program and realized it was in my backyard. I grew up in a household where family and faith were foundational and education was extremely valued. My parents were both educators. My siblings and I were taught to support and to help each other and to always strive for excellence in whatever we did. When I decided to become a nurse, my mom responded, "I don't know much about the nursing profession, but make sure that the program you select results in a baccalaureate degree." My parents also advised us to go as far as we could in any given field, to leave it better than we entered, to work hard, to help others. And the one message we heard every day when I left home was to go with God and to show them what you're made of. My first week as an undergraduate student at Rush University College of Nursing, Dr. Luther Chrisman, Dean and Vice President of Nursing, addressed our class and challenged us to pursue our PhD. We hadn't even seen a patient, but the seed was planted early on. So you see, I was given great advice and support early in my life and in my nursing career. And with that, the awareness that to those that much is given, much is expected. I have never forgotten those lessons: to support, to contribute, to help, and to advance. As an oncology nurse, I learned many life lessons from my patients, mostly not to sweat the small stuff and the importance of relationships. In my career as a staff nurse, a clinical nurse specialist, a researcher, an educator, and now as a nurse and hospital executive, it has been my true privilege to first care for patients, to contribute to the advancement of the nursing profession, to create opportunities for students and nurses of all backgrounds to achieve their goals, to establish programs and create environments that support research, education, and clinical excellence, all things that support the provision of quality health care for all. Our work as nurses is so important, especially today, during a time of great uncertainty, divisiveness, fear, and anger. We are the most trusted profession in America. So using our platform to heal is needed more than ever before. You know, I've been privileged to receive many recognitions for my work in my lifetime, but my early learnings taught me that I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my greatest achievement, my beautiful and brilliant daughter, Raven, a third-year law student at Loyola, one of my biggest cheerleaders and the love of my life. Thank you to UIC College of Nursing for an exceptional education and foundation and for honoring me. I am truly honored and grateful. And my wish for you is to go with God and to continue to show the world what you're made of. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelique, for your professional leadership and your mentorship of the next generation. You've certainly fulfilled your patient's wish that you should leave a legacy of improvement in your field. Congratulations on your award. Our third winner of this year's Outstanding Alumni Achievement Award is Joellen Wilbur. Joellen earned her master's and PhD at UIC Nursing, then spent 29 years on our faculty, rising to the position of Associate Dean for Research. She is now the Independence Foundation Chair in Nursing and Associate Dean for Research at Rush University College of Nursing. while still holding an emerita appointment here at UIC Nursing. She was named to the Sigma Theta Tau International Nurse Researcher Hall of Fame in 2013, which is an incredible international honor. Jo Ellen was nominated by fellow faculty and former faculty, as well as 3 fellow alumni, Susan Corbridge, Judith McDevitt, and Shannon Zenk, who wrote, quote, "She was an early innovator in the area of women's health, with a particular focus on midlife symptoms," end of quote, and added that Jo Ellen's work has had, quote, "a major impact on the field," end of quote, and that is for sure. I am most happy to introduce Jo Ellen Wilbur.
Thank you so much for this award. Thank you to Dr. Susan Colbridge, Judith McDevitt, and Shannon Zenk for supporting me for this award. My first role models were my grandmothers, both born in the 1800s. Sarah Ellen was a college graduate who moved to Janesville, Wisconsin to teach in the rural school system. Josephine moved from Chicago to Janesville to open her own millinery shop. So I knew from the beginning that I would follow a career path, as had my grandmothers and my mother, but as to what path, I remained uncertain for some time. My parents, being practical, established early on that college graduation was to lead to a job, and college lasted 4 years. In the mid-1960s, I did not see many career options available for women other than being a teacher or a nurse. We had lots of teachers in the family, so I decided to become the first nurse. Upon graduation from Marquette University, I still wasn't sure what I really wanted to do, but as a nurse, I was free to move about the country and explore different places and try different work options. Working as a public health nurse in Madison, Wisconsin, I like focusing on prevention of disease. And then as a visiting nurse in Boston, I found I really liked working with families from very diverse backgrounds. Both of these jobs gave me an appreciation of how the environment influences health. It was in the early 1970s in Boston that I was first exposed to a nurse practitioner working in the housing project that I covered. I made the decision at that time to pursue a master's degree in public health nursing. My father, who rarely provided advice, but when he did, I listened, suggested I check into the U of I at the medical center because, as he said, it was the best university in the state of Illinois. At that time, the Department of Public Health Nursing was starting the first NP master's program in the state of Illinois. Seemed like a good fit, so I applied and I got in. The department head in public health was nursing icon Dr. Virginia Olson. My advisor, Violet Barkowskis, a nurse midwife, suggested I write a paper for one of my clinical courses on menopause. I was immediately struck by the lack of mention of menopause in nursing journals and the rather negative focus in most medical journals. A young, enthusiastic teacher, Julia Cowell, mentored me in my teaching practicum. Then, to my surprise, I loved every aspect of my thesis work, done under the direction of Dr. Jean Wood. In 1975, it was difficult to find a clinical position as an NP due to skepticism in the medical community. However, I was lucky enough to be hired as an instructor at SUNY Binghamton, New York, to fill their NP training grant requirement for a master's prepared NP. 3 years later, I came home to UIC as a doctoral student to study factors that influence menopausal symptoms. My advisor, Dr. Alice Dan, was mobilizing researchers in different disciplines from across the university to study gender issues and women's health. It was an exciting time to be on the ground floor of work in women's health. In 1984, I was extremely privileged to be offered a tenure-track position in the College of Nursing. I knew UIC was on the vanguard of NP education and a leader among colleges in nursing science. There was much camaraderie among the nurse practitioner faculty as we worked to expand the FNP program in the 1990s through training grants to UIUC, Quad Cities, and Rockford. Our NIH-funded research on physical activity, behavior change, and women's health has truly been a team effort that all started at UIC. Among the many researchers I've worked at who've been a part of that work, I'd like to mention those who were either faculty at UIC or graduates, including Lynn Brown, Peggy Chandler, Barbara Dancy, Diana Ingram, Judith McDevitt, Arlene Miller, Andy Montgomery, Phyllis Pelt, and Ed Wang. A special mention to Arlene Miller. We met in the UIC Master's Program in the early 70s, and we have remained close research colleagues and friends all the way to Rush University today. In addition, I've worked with many wonderful graduate students at UIC who are leading the way as the following generations of nurse scientists and scholars. Among my former UIC doctoral students I still work closely with are Dr. Janice Phillips, my very first doctoral student, and Dr. Pan Simonik, both are faculty now at Rush, and Dr. Hung Young Lee, professor at Yonsei University in Korea. Most importantly, I want to thank my family for their steadfast support. My husband, Bob Hedrick, whose father was a professor, so from the start he understood the ups and occasional downs of academic life. My daughter, Kate Nolan, and my son, Ted Hedrick, who always kept me balanced and focused on what's important in life. Last, thank you to UIC College of Nursing, where I found and established my life's career. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joellen, for blazing a trail for nurse researchers. Your career has had far-reaching influence on individual scientists and immeasurable impact on individuals who benefit from the contributions of you and your mentees. Congratulations. This year, the college conferred its 42nd annual Distinguished Alumni Achievement Award to Brian Stahlich. Brian Stahlich earned his BSN at USC in 1997. He has spent his entire career at Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago, where he is now in the role of Senior Vice President and Chief Nursing Officer, responsible for 1,800 nurses and more than 300 advanced practice providers. Since assuming the top job in 2016, Brian has increased the staff by more than 500 nurses to accommodate the hospital's significant growth. Under his leadership, the organization completed its 5th magnet designation, becoming the first hospital in Illinois to join the less than 1% of hospitals nationwide that have been recognized 5 times. Brian has championed programs to allow Lurie nurses to continue their education and is known by his colleagues for actively seeking ways to support and engage staff nurses. Brian's nominations include Lurie Children's executive colleagues Michelle Stevenson and Diana Halfer, as well as alumni Susan Akuno Jones and Amira El-Ali. Another nominator, Karen Ricci, Associate CNO at Lurie's, wrote in her nominating letter, quote, Brian understands the value and importance of exemplary nursing that contributes to improving the lives of the patient and families we serve and focuses on improving quality outcomes for patients and the well-being of our nursing teams. End of the quote. I am proud to introduce you to Brian Stahlich.
This is an incredible time to be a nurse. I have always been proud to be a nurse, but have never had more pride in our profession than I do right now. My name is Brian Stahlich, and I am honored to be the recipient of the 2020 Distinguished Alumni Award. I would like to thank Dean Terry Weaver for your unwavering commitment to the students, alumni, and faculty at the College of Nursing. You have prepared all of us to face the challenges we have head on and be successful. I would also like to thank my fellow award recipients. Phyllis, Angelique, and Joellen, congratulations on all your achievements in receiving the Outstanding Alumni Achievement Awards. We are in great company, and we are just a few of the examples of all the successes that alumni from the College of Nursing are having. I'd like to thank and recognize all those, and to be honored this year, which is the Year of the Nurse, is truly a special thing. When I look around, I know that nurses are at the forefront of this crisis, partnering with physician scientists, hospital leaders, to address and face those challenges head on and change the course for the patients that we're dealing with every day. We couldn't have done that without a strong foundation that was provided by the College of Nursing at UIC. We've continued to have and maintain high standards of care, resilience, and a commitment to the patients that a nursing education from UIC embodies. I've been called a lot of things throughout my life. I would say distinguished is probably not one of those, but I really do appreciate this honor and thank the nominating committee, as well as those that I have been so fortunate to work with at Lurie Children's over the course of my nursing career. I'm a graduate from UIC's College of Nursing in 1997. I got my bachelor's degree, and I've always felt that as I've gone through my career, ending up in a leadership position in achieving these awards is not something that I really set out to do. But I know that throughout the course of my career, I've not only been lifted up from the people who I've worked with, or my educators, or those that I've partnered with and my colleagues, I've also been pushed up by those who I've supported and worked alongside on the front lines. And to make a difference in nursing, to address our challenges, it is essential that we're always there to support one another, to provide each other the resources it takes to achieve great things. We are seeing nurses make a difference in research, in clinical care, in academic achievements. Those are things that a UIC College of Nursing degree prepares us all for. Certainly, I don't feel that this honor is something that I deserve, but it's something that I really cherish and recognize the importance of, and want to thank everybody who's helped contribute to that. We should be proud of all that our alumni community has done. I would continue to encourage everybody to take an active part in the UIC's alumni community. We are a strong network of more than 20,000 nurses who can do wonderful things, and that partnership really does help us all achieve. I share this honor with more than just the nurses I work with. I share it with you as the UIC's College of Nursing alumni community. I share it with my family, my wife, who is a nurse, and my 3 daughters who've always encouraged me and been there to support me through all of this. I look forward to all the amazing things that we can do as a community, and want to say thank you to that. Thank you to the College of Nursing, to Dean Weaver, to the entire board of directors, the nominating and selection committee, and all those nurses throughout the world that are really doing wonderful things. Thank you again, and hope you all have a great day.
Brian, congratulations. Thank you for being a model of nurse leadership, climbing the ranks, then reaching back to pull others along. You defy the naysayers who believe nurses eat their young. And with nearly 2,000 Lori nurses watching your example, your influence will be incalculable. We're proud to count you among our most distinguished alumni. Now I'd like to turn the program over to Steve George, our Assistant Dean for Advancement, to continue our recognitions.
Thank you, Terry, and good afternoon again, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce the names of those of you who have joined us for a milestone anniversary of their graduation year from the UIC College of Nursing. Everyone who graduated in a year ending in 5 or 0 will receive a certificate in the mail following today's event. In addition, those celebrating 10 years will receive a special gift. And we're continuing a tradition we started several years ago, presenting silver and gold medallions to commemorate 25 years and 50 years or more. Our silver and gold alumni will receive their medallions via mail in the coming weeks. A very special thank you to our golden alumni celebrating 50 years or more since graduation. We are so honored and thrilled to have more than 30 of you joining us today. Again, on behalf of Dean Terry Weaver and myself, I offer congratulations and cheers to all alumni celebrating today. As I mentioned before, I am the Assistant Dean for Advancement. As many of you probably already know, my role and that of our outstanding team is to build relationships and advance the mission of the College of Nursing. My team accomplishes this in three primary ways: by increasing visibility through our marketing and communications efforts, by building engagement activities in programming, which includes putting on events like today's reunion, and through building philanthropic giving in order to support the college's current and future nursing faculty and students. And so I hope you'll consider three requests today. First, as Dean Weaver mentioned, we are in the fourth public year of Ignite, the campaign for UIC, which is a university-wide campaign with a goal to raise $750 million by the end of 2022. Within Ignite, the Dean and I set a very ambitious goal for the College of Nursing to raise $33 million, which is more than double the amount raised during the prior campaign. Thousands of alumni, faculty, and staff have already participated in the campaign with gifts ranging from $20 to $1,000 to $5 million, as you know. I am happy to report, and you already know, that we completed one of our major priorities of the campaign, the Schwartz Simulation Lab. That happened because of 2 lead gifts and hundreds of additional gifts of all shapes and sizes from alumni and friends like you. The remaining major goals of the campaign include tripling the number of students we support via scholarships and tripling the number of philanthropic funds which support faculty. We are now entering the home stretch of the campaign, and we are counting on you to continue the momentum. If you have already made a philanthropic gift towards the campaign, I appreciate your generosity, and there are thousands of donors who have done their part like you. I thank you most sincerely, and I hope you will continue to give and renew your generosity this year. Now, there are those of you out there today who have not yet experienced the healthy habit of giving. If you are in that category, a first-time donor, I encourage you to make a gift today or in the coming days. Like I said, we accept gifts of all sizes. Your first gift can be $20, it could be $50, $100, $1,000, any size. Please be counted in helping us reach the goal for the Ignite campaign and impacting in a positive way our students and faculty. I hope you'll consider making that first-time gift, and as a result, I know the joy you will feel in making a difference in their lives. If the Spirit moves you today, right now, we do have a link that you can click on, either popping up on the screen or in the chat box. Again, we would love for you to make a gift today, or you can pull out your checkbook and mail your gift in if you would like to. So that is my first request. Please consider making a gift today or in the coming days. My second request is to help us increase visibility for the UIC College of Nursing. Spread the word about the college. Tell your colleagues, tell your neighbors, your friends, how special this place is to you. To help you, our office provides Vital Signs, which is our alumni magazine, which you will receive in the next few weeks via mail or email. In it, you'll find some of the great stories and impact being made by alumni, students, and faculty. We also send out quarterly e-newsletters, which continue to highlight the activities of the college. Use these stories, use this information to spread the word to your friends, your family, your colleagues. Today, you've also had the chance to hear from alumni panelists in the morning, our Alumni Award winners just a few moments ago, and our faculty. I hope you feel proud to be a UIC nursing alumna or alumnus, but please don't keep it a secret. You can do so through sharing on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or again, simply by word of mouth. When you share your own experiences as a student, when you share your career with your colleagues, with your neighbors, with your friends, this goes a long way in spreading the word of how great the UIC College of Nursing is. Share your alumni pride with as many people as possible, and together we can increase visibility for the UIC College of Nursing. So I've already mentioned 2 requests: make a gift and spread the word. My third request: please consider getting more involved and engaged with the UIC College of Nursing. This could mean many things. It could include serving on the alumni board. We are looking for a diverse group of nursing alumni to help grow our ranks. Younger alumni, more seasoned alumni from across Illinois, across the country, from midwifery alumni to med-surg alumni to psych mental health alumni. We're seeking a mix of alumni from all walks of life and careers. Please consider joining our board. This year, we've also launched On Duty, a Zoominar series for alumni and faculty. This morning's presentation, in fact, by Susan Dunn, doubled as one of the featured talks in this series. The next one will be on November 19th with alumna and assistant professor Rebecca Singer, who has been at the forefront of the college's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So I encourage you to check out that series and join us for that event, or for that virtual event. Visit our alumni website and get more details. Last year, we launched AMP, which is our alumni mentor program. If you're a younger alum who would like to be mentored, or if you're a more seasoned alum and be interested in being a mentor and sharing your experience with the younger alumni, we invite you to join the program. And this program is in its 2nd year, so the 3rd iteration will begin next spring. So be on the lookout for an invitation and join us when you can. You can also nominate a fellow alum for Alumni Awards that we just celebrated today. Nominations are open through February 1st for next year's program. You'll find forms in the alumni section of our website. You can also volunteer as a mock interviewer, sit on a professional panel, or recruit at one of our nursing job fairs. We encourage you to come to future events, social events. Hopefully someday in the future will be in person, but we are planning for some of them to be over Zoom as well in the coming months. Employment events, CEU presentations, and you could bring your classmates, colleagues, and friends too. So all of these are many ways to help engage in the life and in your lifelong relationship with the UIC College of Nursing. So I hope you will take advantage of that. We certainly welcome more and more folks to join us. And you can learn about all of this at our website. In summary, please consider making your gift, spread the word about the UIC College of Nursing, and join in the many alumni engagement activities that your alma mater has to offer. Okay, we're nearly concluded here, but I have just a couple more short items for you. The first, I'd like to thank Jan Spunt and the entire alumni board for your hard work in selecting our Alumni Award winners this year. Next, I'd be remiss not to thank my outstanding team and acknowledging their hard work for putting today's reunion together today. Caitlin Canatello, our advancement coordinator, Liz Miller, Director of Marketing and Public Affairs, Mark Mershon, our photographer, Jonathan Samples, our digital communications strategist, Deb Ziff Soriano, our writer, Joanne Chappell, our graphic designer, Chae-Young Kim and Teresa Herrera, our student workers, who gave more than a little extra in preparing today's events. And lastly, and most importantly, our leader for all of today's events, a big shout out and round of applause, thumbs up, to Sarah Almasian, Associate Director of Alumni Engagement and Participation. Sarah has been with the college for 8+ years, and we really appreciate her very hard work, again, in putting on today's event. Coming up next today, after a short 10 to 15-minute break, is our virtual tour, a video of the College of Nursing building and the surrounding west side, the health sciences side of campus. And that will begin at approximately 1 o'clock. Then after the video and tour is a short break, and we'll be back at 1:30 with what I know will be a riveting presentation on the flu pandemic of 1918 and comparisons with today's health crisis, led by nursing historians Arlene Keeling and our very own Gwyneth Milbreath. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your reunion day. Thank you.